Guys, you see my playoff beard? It's coming in. 3 weeks.
Before we dive into, speaking of your playoff beard, I don't know that reference, which is why I say it all the time.
You gotta
Google it.
It's okay. Okay, before we get into the all the latest of the playoffs, because there's plenty and it's fun. There was a debate that I saw on Twitter last week from our friend Chris Long, and I wanted
ADD
to.
Boy.
What'd you say?
I was telling you, ADD boy. I was on an ADD boy, smelling fucking shoes.
Okay, speaking of smelling,
squeezing his fucking lips. Like ADD boy, sit down, take a deep breath.
Speaking of smelling,
things to do today. So I'm revved up.
Oh my god!
Continue.
Speaking of smelling,
I'm just trying to like tell him to like we see it. Take a deep breath. Okay.
Speaking of smelling.
Oh, now he's mad at me. Now he's mad at me like I'm the bad guy. He's mad at me like I'm the bad guy. I'm telling you, he asked me a question. I proceed. He goes, "How are you under your dates?" I start answering the question. You do this.
Allie is getting tired of it.
And I refuse to acknowledge it. I'm like, I'm going to finish this fucking story. I'm not going to acknowledge him putting his hoodie over his head. Then Allie starts talking to her like this.
Can we please acknowledge that you chose to tell a story, and then after you told the story, though, you told us we had to take it out. So we probably could have done without the story in this moment.
Whatever. Maybe
Just
I'll
kidding.
re-listen to that. Maybe I'll re-listen to the story and see what parts can stay in. But
none of it.
Oh,
If you would
Shannon,
like to
you're
keep
hilarious.
your job.
When I started the story, you go like this. Just smell it, bro. Like,
Really good.
yeah, I know. But I'm just saying it is
That's a
funny
weird
to
smell,
watch
like-
you just bounce around for the first minute. Even Allie's annoyed with this part. Let's go.
You know what's funny is we actually started on time today, but yet we really haven't started because you two can't get your brains together. God, if there
my
was
brain is here, Allie.
No, it's not.
I never said where here was, Allison.
Oh,
Okay,
geez. What's
so,
wrong with you, bro?
Here we are.
You're hilarious.
Chris
You're
Long
hilarious.
brings up a debate on his Greenlight pod last week about the NFL debate in the locker room. How do you wash your ass? And I want to know how you guys do.
Can I say this?
Like the fucking
There
football
is
players are a bunch of
only
Neanderthals. They're just like they're just a bunch of Neanderthals. Like what? You wash ass? How you wash ass? Like what the fuck kind of conversations are going on football
You go
podcasts?
top to bottom.
Chris Long's podcast. I've been on it. I love it, but I'm still gonna crack.
Come on, man. If you wash your ass back to balls, you have stinky doo-doo balls.
First of all, no. This
You-
tells me
That's what I'm saying.
everything. No.
Nobody does that.
No.
Nobody does that. It's the shower. You gotta let the water do it. Like the
Anybody has
Europeans.
first of all, this is the thing. I am of
No.
status of wealth now, where I have one of those Japanese toilets, like on South Park.
Oh,
So it sprays and washes and massages and tongues
bidet?
your ass. Yeah, you have to pay extra for the tongue. So it does all of the things. So there's very little wiping and just a little bit of
Richard, if you see me on your
just a little
toilet,
bit, just a little bit
My
of
stomach
dabbing.
hurts, Richard.
It's actually a little dabbing of toilet paper at this point in time, just for the excess, moisture from the spray,
God.
from the bidet spray. But
Allie,
yeah,
You guys-
I don't know. Could
Okay.
you guys tell me? Could you guys tell me?
why is
All-
Richard so late? He's on the bidet again.
All I want to say though,
Yeah.
all I want to say is
Bidet,
that
mate.
you're calling NFL guys Neanderthals. All I was talking about is, do you use a loofah? Do you use a wash rag? Do you use just the bar of soap? Y'all just went into some outer space ass washing dialogue. Like what?
If it's community soap, first of all, you got to make sure that your ass is already clean before you put a loofah, a rag, and a piece of soap on it. Is that your soap? Do not put the community soap on your asshole. Put the soap on the rag, and now it is your rag forever until it has been bleached and cleaned. Do not take the raw dog soap to your raw dog ass. That is grimy. No, there are things in place because we are a cultivated people. Water, soap, rag, ass away, a rag immediately away, and new rag, soap, water on your body.
But that's why I was saying there was 9 steps of rational thinking there by Channing. It wasn't rocket science. Again, that's why I was telling him in the Neanderthals. That's why I was like, yo, there's 9 steps of perfectly logical, like every person is like, yes, that all makes sense. But the fact that you would have to ask that conversation is kind of like,
Allie, you don't wipe your ass first.
You eat soup with a fork?
The ass is last. The ass is last. You are not wiping your ass and then soaping it up and then hitting. You got doo-doo particles on you. You're defeating the purpose of the shower. You're a little boo-boo body. That's what you got, a little doo-doo body. It's disgusting.
Do you not wipe properly? Why do you still
have... You do. You do, no, but what I'm saying...
He's talking about for a shower. He's talking about for a shower.
Yeah. It's still an asshole, Allie. Listen. When you wash your body, you get everything first. The front and the back have to be last. Don't let that rag touch any other part of your body. I don't care how much soap or water you want to put on that bitch. Those two get their own special treatment.
I'm dead. Okay.
It's
not even 11 a.m. Thank you. That's where my brain is. How do you wash your ass?
Basketball? What are we talking about?
We're going into basketball. And to be honest with you.
Start our podcast. What?
Yeah, yes, we can start the podcast. To be honest, I'll let you guys. Do you want to start with the Grizz Lakers, the Warriors, the Hawks? If we do talk about the Hawks, just forewarning, we are recording this before Game 6. It is the morning of Game 6, Boston in Atlanta. Or we can talk about Knicks, Cavs. Where do you guys want to start?
About that? Wait. Knicks, what? Where do you want to start, Channing? Because if there's only one right answer, but I get it. Where do you want to start, Channing?
What the fuck is what I want to say? What the fuck? Come on, man. Listen,
I understand this was like a bunch of assholes.
It's like I was saying in no world would I think that Mitchell Robinson was going to look like 03 Shaq against Jared Allen and fucking Mobley. Holy shit. When he said, yo, we got some good big men too, I said, okay, y'all okay. This dude had 11 offensive rebounds. Evan and Jared had 10 total. To me. You cannot, everyone wants to roast JB for making adjustments. What are you adjusting?
You can't adjust the physicality. You can't adjust. That's what I'm saying, people. That's why people make adjustments. What adjustments are you going to make to fucking LeBron James? Like, it's like there's not a lot of adjustments. It just is what it is. They're Claxton from Brooklyn, right? They weren't going to be able to guard Joel Embiid. Like, we only have so many options. We can't let him play one-on-one against Joel Embiid. He just will murder him. He was murdering the bigs from Cleveland.
Crazy.
And it was just, he was more physical. He was just more like determined. This is what I saw.
Wait, one more thing. Y'all better leave Evan Mobley alone. The fucking kid is 21 years old. They're like, he's not this. Nice. He's been in the league 2 years. What the fuck do you think he's going to do? This is a lot for him. He played great defense on Julius Randle. It's what he is known for. He was in the running for Defensive Player of the Year, not MVP. And yes, I still think he can be like KG or Timmy eventually when he evolves that, right? Obviously, they're a little bit ahead of where he is now. But for me, leave him alone. At the end of the day, their physicality of the Knicks, give them credit. Josh Hart, RJ Barrett, Mitchell Robinson, everyone was going to town, just getting anywhere they wanted to on the Cavs. To me, it was their sense of urgency and desperation that I was the most disappointed about. They are very good players. Their bench, very good players. Their preparedness emotionally seemed not at all ready. Not at all ready. Anyways.
Okay. Well, let's go. Okay, so thank you for that. Obviously, I was very disappointed with the Cavs, obviously, my fandom. Let's call a timeout on this episode right now to talk about our partners over at Prize Picks. Prize Picks is daily fantasy made easy. The NBA playoffs are in full swing, and you can get some extra skin in the game with Prize Picks. All first-time users that deposit and use the promo code Road Trippin will receive a 100% instant deposit match up to $100. So that means if you deposit $100 using our sign-up code Road Trippin, Prize Picks will give you $100. If you sign up with our code and deposit $50, Prize Picks will give you $50. How does it work? Well, you pick between 2 and 6 players and select whether they will score more or less than their Prize Picks projections. You can win up to 25 times your money on any entry. Prize Picks offers projections on any sport that you watch, including NFL, NBA, MLB, NHL, UFC, PGA, and college football, soccer, WNBA, esports, NASCAR, and much, much more. So, Rich, what do we got for this weekend?
All right, let's get into my Prize Picks for Saturday. Game 1 of the Western Conference semis. Yes, it's time. The Nuggets, the Suns. Who's ready? Suns and 4 guy. He'll be there. For our first pick, we're taking Chris Paul to get more than 27.5 combined points, rebounds, and assists. They're going to need every single one of them also. CP3 has had more than this number in 5 of his last 6 games. His splits against Denver have him averaging more than 30 combined points, rebounds, and assists. We expect him to come out focused. I expect him to get that done. And look, if they are going to get it done, he's going to have to put up those numbers. That's my humble opinion. Now,
I actually stop right there. With them being on the road, I call him the X Factor. Even possibly of the series, but especially on the road. I like it.
Yeah, yes. I think you know what Kevin Durant, because Kevin Durant, no one's leaving him. If they're trying to pick between who's going to beat him, Chris Paul's already said he's getting more open shots than he ever has in his career, and you believe him. He's been a point guard. Now he's off the ball with 2 of the greatest scorers on the planet. Yes, he's getting open shots he's never seen. All right. For our second pick on Saturday, we're taking Aaron Gordon, and this one hurts. This one stings a little bit, my Arizona boy. We are taking Aaron Gordon to score less than 14 points. This one's simple. My guy, AG, has only scored more than 14 points in 2 of his last 15 games. We need to up his performance. AG, I know you know. I saw you on Christmas Day. I did your game where you dunked on the world.
The rise of Jamal, though.
It is the rise of Jamal, but still, Aaron Gordon's got to get me more. He was almost an all-star this year. It was close. Okay. He was in conversation. He was in conversation for being an all-star at the midway point. So you got to have more than that. Look, to recap our picks for Saturday, these are both for game 1 between the Nuggets and Suns. Chris Paul to get more than 27.5 combined points, rebounds, and assists, and Aaron Gordon to score less than 14 points. That one hurts a little bit.
At Prize Picks, though, you aren't competing against other people. It's just you versus the projections available for that day's games. Prize Picks entries can be made in 60 seconds or less. You just saw how easy it was for Rich to make his picks. Prize Picks is safe and offers fast withdrawals. Download Prize Picks today and play daily fantasy sports with the Road Trippin crew. Make sure to use the promo code Road Trippin when you sign up. Hey, Road Trippers. Our next partner has a product we're personally using every day. We're all taking Athletic Greens because we want more energy, better immune systems, and we all got tired of taking pills and vitamins. Want to see what the hype is all about? It's obvious. Every scoop of AG1 tastes great and helps us to feel our best in the morning. We have that peace of mind knowing that we're beginning every day with 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source superfoods, and even probiotics. Right now, it's time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition. It's just 1 scoop in a cup of water every day. That's it. No need for a million different pills and supplements to look out for your own health. To make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/roadtrippin, take ownership over your health, and pick up the ultimate daily nutrition insurance. Again, go to athleticgreens.com/roadtrippin and get started today. Calling all road trippers. We all love a good road trip on this podcast, right? Well, as the weather gets good and big plans get made, make sure you're driving to your destination on a great set of tires from our friends at Discount Tire. Discount Tire is your one-stop shop for not only tires and tire maintenance, but also custom wheels and accessories, like a new pair of windshield wiper blades. America has trusted Discount Tire for over 60 years, and with over 1,100 locations across 38 states, there's sure to be one near you. Their industry-leading selection offers more than 70 brands of tires and more than 90 wheel brands. And now you can visit their website, discounttire.com, to locate a store, schedule an appointment, search for top brands, and even select and pay for your tires. Head to discounttire.com today to register for email discounts and access the latest in tire safety tips. You'll also find helpful information about the maintenance schedule of your specific make and model of vehicle. Want to cut the line? We've got you, road trippers. Wait times are 30% shorter when you buy and book online at discounttire.com. What are you waiting for? Head to your local Discount Tire or discounttire.com today, and we'll get you taken care of. Let's dive into now series that are still alive, and I'm going to kind of go in order.
Okay.
With the game sixes that we have. Let's talk Warriors Kings first. Yeah, let's talk Warriors Kings. What a series.
What a series.
I agree.
What a series. I think, honestly, I thought the Kings missed a huge opportunity, not this game, but last game. Yeah. I think now the Warriors are like, they don't poke the bear enough to where the Warriors are like, oh, okay, this is how you, like, they have levels. But it's like, oh, you've matched us on level 2. We have level 3. Oh, you matched us here. We're not tripping. Now we're going to go to 5. And I think the Kings are figuring out, can they go to level 5? Like, can they get a crazy game out of Keegan Murray, right? There's that thing of Davion Mitchell on the bench like this, chasing Steph around. Mm-hmm. If you're not used to that, if you're not mentally prepared to do that for a full 7-game series, it's going to wear on you because you're going to get tired. He knows how to – he's been doing this his whole career basically. So how do you adjust to that? How do you adjust to physically – you don't even know what the playoffs feel like, and now you're going against the defending champs, and then that defending champs has the stamina, the mental capability to fight these runs that you go on and to win these games. But the true test is, can you win on the road? Okay,
so do you think that they're cooked? I do want to read this to you. Obviously, De'Aaron Fox had the index finger injury, right? He had 24, but on just 9 of 25 shooting. It's his worst shooting performance in over a month.
You got to keep shooting. If you're going to be out there, who else going to shoot? You got to keep shooting. At least shoot the right ones.
He's fine. He's fine. He's going to, like, I'm just saying that if you're the Lakers, your approach is he's fine. If you're
We're not talking there, Lakers. Kings, Warriors.
No, I'm not Lakers. I'm saying Kings. Okay. If you're the Golden State Warriors approach, he's fine, right? The Golden State Warriors approach is he's fine. So De'Aaron, if he's out on the floor, you're imagining he's going to be fine or he's going to get better. So it's just like, for me, if he's out there, that, like, I don't think he's going to be affected by what he's doing at all. He's just got to play better. Like if you're De'Aaron, like there's, Ja, we saw what happened with Ja. He's still surviving.
Do you think that the Kings can win in Game 6 and force a Game 7?
Yes, I do.
The Golden State hard Warriors, for me to bet against Warriors right now. Their momentum is all the pressure's on the Kings now.
The pressure is now on the Kings. I get it. But we know that the Warriors are the ultimate fuck around and find out team. We know that's a part of their DNA. They are the ultimate, led by Dre, right? Like, we know. Yeah. So I'm saying if someone were to tell you that the Golden State Warriors were to come out flat, or like Sacramento would get out to like a 32 to like 12 run, right? Because of just like, they just got hot. Like no one would be like overly surprised.
Right.
Yeah.
I think if the Kings do it, Malik Monk, Keegan Murray, one of those dudes, Harrison, they get hot. Mm-hmm. I just don't. They have to get real hot because Steph and Clay are hitting right now. That sucks. When they have a rhythm to, like, if they're not uncomfortable, those two dudes, you're just running around with them. They're not as physical as they were Game 1. They're not as grabby as they were. The score is getting a little bit more. It's getting a little bit more flow. And the more that they play against each other, the more they're going to realize doing it once or twice is easy. Doing it 4 times, you have to be psychotic.
Yo, that's what I'm saying. It's like, but they learn. And then it's like, you never know. They could be a collection of guys that do have that next moment. Like that do. Like maybe they are the guys that, because again, like remember the Warriors for those first couple years, they were good, competitive, whatever. They lost to the Clippers in 7. And then all of a sudden they found another gear collectively. Right. And then they maintained that gear. Then they pushed it. But it took them a few years to find that gear. So I'm not saying that this team's a championship team in Sacramento, but they could be that next gear of a team that we all of a sudden, if someone told you next year Sacramento would have the best record in the league, no one would flinch. Everybody would be like, I can see that. If they all improve collectively.
I also think vets are going to want to go there. Now, vets are like, y'all play like this? I'll be on your bench. Here's a role I want to play. Like, I think that's one thing people don't take into consideration. When you have a good year and you establish a culture and your 1-2 guys are pass first guys or they're good players, I think you're going to see a lot more vets come in there with a guy coach like Mike Brown that's like, we want you to just play your game and make us better. Vets are going to go, I'll take less money to go play there.
Yeah. Sidebar. Rich, did you really get an invite to Harrison Barnes' wedding?
No. So I think where was it? Was it Kent Bay? No. I don't, hear me out. I don't remember where it was. Maybe it was Kent Bazemore's wedding. We were there, and I don't remember. And I was giving Harrison Barnes some shit. We have the same manager, Naila. So I was also, and then I had Harrison, and so I was giving Harrison some shit a little bit about not inviting. He was like, at the end, he was like, "Hey, would you really like to come?" I'm like, "No, man, I'm just fucking with you. Like, I got it." But Harris, if I would have pressed and said yes, Harrison, I would have come. He would have been very generous and invited me. I'm sorry, I don't understand. Like, I wasn't even trying to be mean. I don't, like, people took it as like I was throwing shots at Draymond. It was just more Draymond made a statement, and I was like, hey, I kind of got a half invite to it.
Welcome to 2023. I didn't realize that there was some beef, I guess, between Trae and Harrison.
Beef. It's just like
there's not beef. I think what it was.
Do I love this dude?
This is what I think it was. This is what I think it was. If I had to say this, there was some statements made after Harrison missed that shot, right? There was, I think, a statement about like, we've seen this story before or something. There was some sort of shot made by Draymond. And so I think people kind of took it like might have taken it a certain way. And so Draymond was like, oh, no, I don't care. Like, this is,
I listened to Dre on his
this
pod
is the story.
Too. I had listened to Dre on his pod too, that there were some feelings or thoughts about the Kevin Durant situation, which ended up maneuvering things with Harrison and so forth. Anyways, moving on. Okay, so let's go to the Grizzlies. Since we started this podcast welcoming Dylan Brooks onto it. They force a game 6. The Lakers are favored by 4.5 points and are expected to close out in LA. LeBron said he was shit.
He was
5. And do you think that LA will wrap this up on Friday?
I hope for them they do. Because if they don't, I don't see them winning this series. I'm not, it's not even LeBron. It's not this. It's like, at the end of the day, the Lakers are overachievers right now, in my opinion. Like, they're exceeding people's expectations given off of when they got it started, how they entered into the postseason, and the way they're performing right now. Like, they're doing well. That's a tough one. If they lose this one at home, like, now you're still going against a team that's got a young, talented, high energy, better version of Sacramento when healthy. Like, we're talking about Sacramento as a young group of guys with a gear. Like, that's what Memphis been a step above them for 2 years now. Like, if it wasn't for the injuries and all that stuff, Memphis could very easily have been the number 1 seed if they would have had one of their other bigs. So I just think that you get into a real dangerous territory. You saw what happened to the Bucks. If it can happen to a great team, it can happen to a a good team in the Lakers.
I'm curious, is there going to be a game where Bron and AD can play exceptional? It's like Bron plays good, AD doesn't, they win. Bron plays bad, AD plays good, they lose. Bron plays okay, Rui Hachimura plays great, D'Angelo Russell has some shots, AD plays solid, they win. Like, I think either the Grizzlies are doing that, or that's just like they're mixing it up each game so that the Lakers don't get a rhythm. But I want to see both AD and Bron have a 25 plus, you go, my go, we're taking advantage of these things. Austin Reeves gets his 15. D'Angelo Russell gets his 12 to 15. Schroeder gets his, it took me everything not to call him Scrotum right there. 10 to 12, you know.
It's a fair question, and I actually would ask you guys how that would look or what you need from the both of them, because Dave McMenamin asked Bron that last night. We have yet to see that here in this series, to your point, even though in game 1 they were 22 and 21, I believe, respectively, but you had Rui with 29, you had Austin with 23 or 24. What will that take to happen? Because we talk so much about featuring Anthony Davis, Bron getting AD the ball, but how do they share the responsibility at a high level?
Well, that's up to them. You know, like there's been millions of pairs that have done it before that have figured out the balance, right? And there might be some issues with the way they play. No one really we don't address that because the dynamic of their team when they won the championship, I feel like was different. They still
different.
They had more shooting. They had defenders. They had depth at the big, right? Quality depth at the big. They were a far more talented team in 2020. Like that's just clear. Like, don't say, oh, well, when they won in 2020, LeBron and AD were the best players and it was everyone else. No, the everyone else was substantially better than the everyone else they have.
They're champions on their team.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. like those dudes, like Kyle Kuzma, say what you want about Kuz. Kuz was a bucket. He wasn't good enough to be the third best player moving forward for multiple years, in my opinion, but he was good enough to be the third best player on a championship team.
For sure. He wasn't afraid to go get a bucket. You need somebody that's like, swing, okay, I'm going. Who's just unconscious.
Yeah, he was like, fuck it. I got these two dudes here. I got to find a way to be aggressive through the fire, through the BS. That shit ain't easy. So I don't know. LeBron and those guys have to figure out. That's the only thing I'm going to say. They have to figure it out themselves where it's Shaq and Kobe. It's, Joel Embiid and James Harden. It's you got like LeBron and Kyrie. You guys got to figure out what's the flow that allows you both to be successful. So LeBron and are like Kyrie and LeBron. They could both go for 40 and everyone else felt included. Channing, in that game, it wasn't like it was just them playing. Everyone felt like they contributed. Those guys carried the scoring load, but JR hit shots. Other people made plays. Like it was a collective game led by them offensively.
Yeah, I made sure you guys had your water. Richard!
Yeah, we made
JR!
But that's what I'm saying. They got to figure that out. That's up to those two to figure out the flow that allows them. But that's not coaching. Coaching's a part of it, whether it's rotations, allowing one to come out of the game, the other one to get the rhythm, whatever, like that type of flow. But ultimately, they got to figure that shit out.
Yeah. And as you've been talking, I've been thinking about something that, like when I was here with Brandon, Roy, and LaMarcus, it was like, LaMarcus, we're going to showcase you the first 3 to 6 minutes. We're going to try to get you a double team. Boom. That next 6 minutes, that's post-ups, right? So this is post-ups, ISOs, little plays for you, get some action. That's AD. Bang, 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 bang. First 6 minutes, I want 6 shots, right? Get a feel for the game. Those next 6 minutes, Bron comes out, right? Or 7 minutes, whatever that is. Bron comes out or, somebody comes out, but D'Angelo Russell comes in, or we start showcasing the screen and roll, right? Where now we throw AD into the screen and roll. We see what happens with that little bit of action and run some second side stuff, right? So now we're seeing the post up. Now we're seeing the second side stuff where now Bron, he's not he's standing, but he's catching it on a swing where he can drive or take advantage of different mismatches. The beginning of that second quarter, AD comes out, this is Braun's time to showcase. Braun in that second unit. Braun, Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura. This is where we go. This is the Memphis Grizzlies bench guys. We're going to pick on their worst defender bench guy for 3 to 6 minutes and get actions, right? Dennis Schroeder, pick up. This is where the pace of the game gets a little bit faster. End of the third quarter, that's when we have our starters back in, or whoever's hitting. And then the second half, guess what, motherfucker? You ain't getting no break. You ain't getting no break. You might get 3 minutes at the end of the third or in the middle of the third, but we're finishing quarters with our main dudes, and whoever's hitting in that fourth quarter, I'm rolling with you. But, like, that's how I think you get a rhythm of, like, now if I broke that all down, hopefully they do it. But
no, you did. No, you did. But to your point is this. The reason why I'm so glad they've come up with a clutch player award, I'm so glad. Like, that to me, like when we're talking about the new awards and stuff, that's a beautiful award because that award is going to be given to when it's fourth quarter time, there's one motherfucker out there this year that's doing the work. Yeah. He's scoring the most points. His team are winning those games. That's a bad motherfucker. And you have them all the time. You have them different ones all the time. There was years it was Steph. There was years it was Bron. There was years it was Kobe. There was years where it's, this year's De'Aaron Fox. Kyrie was one of those dudes at like the first 60 games of the year. So that's what I'm saying. That to me, because that is a thing, Channing, you know this. This is not just like, he's clutch. It's like, no, there is 1 year where a team's going to win 55 games and a motherfucker was just a badass remember Ben Gordon? Ben Gordon had that year when he was Ben Jordan. Like, he was nuts. When he won Sixth Man of the Year. Like, it was him in the fourth quarter. They would give him the ball. He came off the bench. But in the fourth quarter, they gave him the ball and they won 50 games. That was what they did.
Carl Landry, who led the league in fourth quarter points. You were like, who? And then all of a sudden you were like, damn, this dude is a bucket in the fourth quarter.
Bucket in the fourth. But it was like Ben Gordon did it all year long. This was like how their team got to 50 points. So, that was our random rant about that. But that's why I'm glad they came up with that clutch player, because there are players that should be recognized that when you get to the fourth, this motherfucker is going to get your team to the postseason.
Facts. This can be a quick one because obviously the game hasn't been played and it's being played later tonight. Do the Hawks force a Game 7?
I don't think so. I think the Boston. So I'll say this. One, everyone thinks that I hate on Trae Young. I do not hate on Trae Young, the person.
The Atlanta Hawk mascot.
Oh, yeah.
Well, love it.
It's a love-hate with because Taylor Rooks loves the Hawks. And I always say, listen, I barbecued the Hawks. So, I like my lemon pepper Hawks. Yeah. Anyway, blah, blah. It's a love-hate. And I think what I was extremely impressed about was the Hawks' willingness to win that game. A lot of teams could have just died. And I think the Boston Celtics expected the Hawks to just go, you guys are better. Here you go. But they rallied around Trae, and to me, the Celtics. So Trae took advantage of those opportunities. So did the Hawks. I thought they got outcoached. I thought the Celtics got outcoached. I thought that the Celtics settled and were extremely mentally weak that game. I thought Jason Tatum stopped attacking the rim and stopped being aggressive for some weird reason. And for me, the sense of urgency was 100% on the Hawks, obviously, because it's a closeout game. But Trae Young, Quinn Snyder going to Trae Young and being like, take us home. They go get out the way. Like, the last play, I called it on NBA Twitter Live. I was like, yo, if Trae Young catches a ball, I don't give a fuck where you are. Run at him. Anybody else but him. Anybody else but him. If you see Marcus Smart, he's like dancing up to him. You're like, the dude can shoot from half court. What are you doing?
Yo, you're down one. You're down one, and he literally had the balls to just pull up. That, dude, like, to your point,
that's a shot. Yeah, that's a shot. That's what I'm saying. That has no wild. Down one is very dangerous, Allie. It's a very dangerous because a 2 beats you, a 3 beats you, so you can't just be like, we're 3. I'm gonna take away the 3, right? I'm gonna take away the 3. We're down 2, or like. We're up by 2. I just have to take away the 3, whatever. You're down by 1, so any bucket beats you. So if you're the offensive player, take the shot you want. Take the shot you want. You want to try and get the best shot possible. Yeah.
My thing here though is you as Trae Young, as the Hawks, you didn't need a 3. And it is a much different story. You guys know this, to pull up when it's a tie game, knowing that you miss it. You still have an opportunity, right? But to pull up down 1, no matter what, you need a bucket. And that's the bucket. I'm saying from Trae's perspective, like, wow.
No. So think about it this way. Trae knew he was going to get double teamed. In Trae's mind, do you think he's the hero, or do you think he's the guy, the antagonist now? He's turned into the guy where everyone kind of hates on him, right? Yeah. They say he's the most overrated. They say he's 12th in this. What does he have to lose? They're playing without DeJounte Murray. He knows they're about to get double teamed. Jaylen Brown is backed up. He goes, you know what? If I miss, I miss. But with all this space, and he's looking at Marcus Smart jog over to him and do a hula dance at him, and he goes, oh, y'all gonna just let me shoot this? Stop it. Because if he passes it, they go, well, why am I going to give you the ball as a leader? I'd rather have Trae Young shoot that thing from fucking half court than have to pass. You saw what happened to the Milwaukee Bucks. Grayson Allen's thing got tight as a motherfucker.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
Okay, having said that.
Come on.
Having said that, we're gonna talk about the East semis being set, the West semis being set on the other side.
That was the crazy. This has been the craziest 4 days. But now I guess let me say this. I feel a bit like I don't understand what fans went through in 2016, because I feel like that was like the last like great comeback. No, hear me out. We were in it, so it's a different type of experience. But watching that Miami like series and watching this unexpected whole thing happen, it is mind blowing what just happened.
And the episode's going to drop tomorrow. The episode's going to drop tomorrow, so stay tuned. That's another edition of Road Trippin'.